What up, y'all? How's it going? BenDeen here, back with another video. Today I'm eating some steak that I just got delivered. Yeah, delivery steak. Believe it or not, they have delivery steak now, and I'm trying it out for the first time. I just saw this on the app, the delivery app that I usually use. I got a sirloin steak, and I guess it comes with some salad, some rice, pickles, and some fries, some seasoned fries, I believe. And it came out to about 18 bucks or so not too bad. Let's open this up. Well, for starters, here's what we got. Not looking too bad there. Looking pretty good. And I also have some wine, some leftover wine. This little mini bottle from the convenience store is like $3, so I'm just gonna finish this off. But first, I'm gonna transfer this to a better looking plate. Okay, so transferred it over to a plate here. Got the fries, salad, some veg, and the steak here. The steak, it does look a little bit, it's looking a little bit pale, but I mean, it does look nice and like a good, decent medium rare, I would say. The outside just doesn't look very, dark or anything. But it's looking pretty decent. This was pretty cool. When I ordered it, it did have different selections for the size of the steak and the doneness as well. So I picked medium rare, and I just got the smallest one. I think this is 200 grams. I think it went up to 400 grams, but I'm not on that level really, so just got the smallest one. Looks like they gave us some kind of steak sauce, some ketchup, and I'm guessing some salad dressing as well. So I'm gonna put a little bit on here. And I don't know about you, but I'm really excited to try this delivery steak. So just going for a bite here. Go for the plain bite first. Mmm. Mmm. Been a while. I gotta say, it's not really piping hot or anything, but that's usually okay when I eat steak anyway. It doesn't have to be super hot. Usually after you cook a steak, you're supposed to let it rest for a while anyway. But the taste is good. Texture, I would say this is a bit more of like a medium, almost. It's not exactly red, but it's definitely pink. Pretty tender. Pretty decent flavor. All in all, for a delivery steak, I can't really complain about this, especially with the other sides they gave me as well. It did come with like some kind of fried rice, but I am not gonna eat that. I'm just gonna give that to SJ. I'm gonna try it with this steak sauce. Yeah, I'm not really complaining about this. Definitely not the best steak I've ever had. But for sitting at home and not doing anything, I'll take it. Let's try with the fries. Good fries. Salad. Salad, weird kind of salad dressing, really kind of sweet. And then, yeah, it looks like they just gave me a bunch of like sauteed onions, fried garlic, green beans, and is this a pineapple? I think they might have thrown in a pineapple in there. Well, sure did. Anyway, this is like my first meal of the day, pretty much, so pretty hungry, and yeah, I'm just gonna chow down. Cheers. One of these days, I'll have to actually try to cook a steak in a video and eat that. So need to upgrade my lighting. I'm looking into different lighting setups I can get. Right now, it's like basically looking at a ring light or like a small like light that I can mount right on the camera. So I'll probably have to drop some money on that pretty soon. Other than that, what's new? So I met someone, or I encountered somebody who actually watched my videos the other day at a bar. There's this girl who knew who I was. That was pretty crazy. That was the first time that's happened. So yeah, that was pretty weird. I don't think she was a fan or anything. Or at least she didn't want it to seem like she was, but she just said, "Hey, you're Ben from YouTube." Also, I was gonna say in the end of the video, but it's kind of a new deal. I am gonna be live streaming a little bit. So I'm gonna do a test live stream on, let's see, in American time. I'll be doing it on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time and 6 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm gonna be doing it on a website called LiveStar. It's an app right now for a phone, so you're gonna have to download it if you want to watch it. I'll probably just get like a test. I've never done live streaming before, so. But it is free to use, and my username is BenDeen, same as my YouTube. So yeah, check that out if you want to see me live stream. I really have no idea what I'll be doing. You know, as long as my internet works, then I should be doing it on the time I said earlier. And I guess we'll see how it goes. So if I like it, I'll probably do a decent amount more, but just gotta test it out first. I think that's about all that's new for me these days. So I was thinking about, before I ordered this, when I was waiting, it actually took a while to come. I think it took like about an hour, which is kind of a long time for Korea. But I was waiting, I was like, what could I talk about while I'm eating this steak? For some reason, don't ask me why, the scene from The Matrix, the first Matrix movie where they're eating steak, the agent and that dude, Cypher, that just came to my mind, like, man, they ate that steak really deliciously. Probably way more deliciously than I'm eating this. Like, this is, honestly, on camera it doesn't, you know, it looks like a certain way. In person, I think it looks a little bit better, but still, it's not like, you know, food porn level steak. But not seeing it, I just remember, first time even watching it, I was like, man, they're eating that steak, like, that steak looks really good. So yeah, that thought came to my mind. And then I was like, you know what, maybe I could talk about movies. Some of my all-time favorite movies. I don't think I've mentioned this. I know I have mentioned that I think in one video I said something along the lines of, you know, I'm not a big movie fan, like I'm not a big movie guy. But I think I misspoke. You know, I was probably trying to say that I'm not like a big movie buff. I haven't watched that many movies. Like, I haven't seen all like the classic movies. I just haven't seen that many movies, I feel like, compared to other people who would consider themselves movie buffs. But you know, I do enjoy watching movies. I'm trying to watch more these days. So, let's see. I'm just going to talk about some of my all-time favorites, though, right now. Back when I was real little, probably about 5, 6. Huge Bulls fan, Chicago Bulls fan, huge basketball fan. Space Jam, biggest fan of the movie Space Jam back in the day. That was my jam, Space Jam. I'd probably watch that at least like 15, 20 times. Good old MJ. Did I hear something like, I thought I heard something, they're going to make a Space Jam 2 with LeBron. Did I dream that up, or was that actually a thing? I don't know. But, yeah, that was, man, I should watch that again one of these days. Then after that, let's see. So I would say like Harry Potter was another one that the whole series I was, well, you know, as you go on, because they released it over like several years. I think I watched the first one. I probably watched the first one like 10 times. Second one, 8 times. Third one, like, you know. I think I've only seen the last one once. But those first Harry Potter movies in the series were, I mean, I love the books as well. So yeah, I was a pretty big Harry Potter fan back in the day. Still am, to be honest. I didn't even know they were coming out with that new book though, so I gotta read that. And then I kind of got into like the Lord of the Rings after that, after Harry Potter. I remember my dad. He read the books, and I was like really little when it first came out. He was reading some of the books to me and my brother. Or maybe that was after the first movie came out. Anyway, I remember he was like, "Hey, you want to go see Lord of the Rings?" And I was like, not really. He knew him from way back in the day, and he wanted to see it. So he was like, "Oh, just come on." So me and my brother went with him, and it was like really great. Loved it. I came out of that movie. The first thing I did when I got home, I think, was grab a stick and like pretend it was a sword. And I even got so into the Lord of the Rings that I started buying like action figures, little figurines of the Lord of the Rings, like maybe yay big. I had probably 20. That was crazy. And then, like I mentioned earlier, The Matrix. I got really into The Matrix as well. I think I bought some action figures of The Matrix too. I was probably, I don't know how old I was. Like 13, 14 maybe. And I've watched the Matrix movies. Well, the first one and the second one. The third one, seen it a couple times, but not that big of a fan. I probably watched the first one and the second one 10 times each. The Lord of the Rings movies, though, those are all really great. First, second, and third, so yeah, definitely some of my favorite movies to this day. After that, let's see, Napoleon Dynamite was another one that I don't know if you guys have seen Napoleon Dynamite or not, but if you haven't, you should definitely check it out, because it might blow your mind. Never seen another movie like it. And I was just at that age. I think I was like 16 maybe. 15 when I first saw it. It just like, I mean, I was just like a weird kid. And I related to him, to Napoleon and Pedro and them. So yeah, that movie was right up my alley. I probably watched that, I don't know, way more than I should have. I bought the Vote for Pedro shirt, the t-shirt. That movie still holds up though. I mean, it's worth a watch if you haven't seen it. Garden State. That's another movie that I've watched. A lot of these movies are just like, maybe not Ones that I would still say are like really great movies today, but ones that I've just watched like so many times. Garden State, movie by Zach Braff, like a little independent. It's like a weird kind of movie. I really like that one too. When I was like in high school, and also in high school, I got into this movie called The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou with Bill Murray. That quickly became my like for the time like for high school for a good amount of years. That was my favorite movie for sure. Me and my brother, we probably watched that at least 20 times. No joke. A lot of people, I don't think it's for everyone for sure. It's a Wes Anderson movie, and a lot of people like Wes Anderson movies, but I feel like Life Aquatic was just maybe not one of his more popular hits. My brother and I, though, we just love that. Owen Wilson. That was just a. I'd recommend to check out all these movies, any of these movies if you haven't seen them. You might be flustered by some of them, but see, after that, yeah, for the past like few years, there haven't been any movies that I've watched like that I've really kind of fell in love with and gotten ridiculously into like that and watched a bunch of times. Maybe a couple. Let's see, Lost in Translation. Really love that movie actually. Another Bill Murray movie where and Scarlett Johansson when they're in Tokyo together. Definitely one thing that made watching that movie made me really want to go to Japan. I still do. But yeah, that movie, just the aesthetic of it, I guess, definitely one of my all-time favorites. And still would hold up for me. Like Napoleon Dynamite, I mean, it's still like a classic movie, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily that good of a movie, I guess, But I'm no critic. I don't really know much about that kind of stuff when it comes to movies. Let's see, Drive. That was another one in recent memory. Ryan Gosling movie. I think Drive is one of those movies that you either really like or really don't like. Not a lot of dialogue. It can be really gory and violent as well, but similar to Lost in Translation, it was really like the aesthetic, the music, just the vibe of it. The it was like the way it was shot. I guess was really cool. I thought. All right, well, I think that's about it for my movie list for now. Just some of my all-time most watched / favorite movies, and that's it for this meal as well. You know what? I enjoyed it. It's not. I don't eat steak that often. It is like probably one of my favorite foods, but I just don't get around to eating it that much. This one, I can't say it was that great, but I still appreciate it. I still enjoyed it. So yeah, good meal for me. Um, the live streaming thing, once again, it's called LiveStar. You have to download it. It's like an app. And so this Wednesday, in like 2 days, less than 2 days now. American time, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'll be sharing for a little bit. I don't know even know what I'm going to be doing. Just testing it out, really. So, yeah, join me there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I think I'm going to transfer this to a nicer looking plate. Oh.